Sports. For a while, sports has been the most popular form of entertainment, from flashy knockouts in boxing to the best runs in football. What's good, y'all? It's Bo Mile, and this is my video on the silent killer in contact sports. In order to do this video, I had to split it up into two parts, the problem and the solution. Now, I'm specifically going to be talking about football. But before that, we have to talk about the issue that started it. This image right here is basically a visual representation of what CTE is. CTE is a brain disease caused by repetitive trauma to the head. Right now, CTE has caused quite the concern in contact sports. Now, the first sport I want to focus on is football, due to its popularity within the United States. As of now, football is the most popular sport within the United States, so that will be our starting point. We will start with the problem. Right now, CTE has become a huge problem in football. There was recently a study done by Boston University that found 91% of former NFL players had actually shown signs of CTE. The study consisted of 376 NFL players and found that 345 of them had actually shown signs of CTE. This is a huge concern because we've had 3 players who have had instances where they have taken their own lives. These players are Junior Seau, Aaron Hernandez, and Phillip Adams. Each of their story is very tragic and just shows the downside of what CTE can do to a person. It basically deteriorates your mind. You have memory loss and dementia and loss of bodily functions. Now, if this is such a big issue, why hasn't the NFL addressed it? The NFL was originally established in 1920, and CTE was only acknowledged by the NFL in 2016. That's over 96 years. Now, why such a big gap? It's hard to imagine that CTE hasn't been around for a while. I mean, we've had the same hits for over 100 years, so that doesn't make sense as to why it would just all of a sudden show up out of nowhere. Well, the main reason is due to technology. As of now, the only way to find out about CTE is through a brain scan, and the brain scan can only be done after someone is deceased. So this then leads us to our solution. Right now, the only way to beat CTE is to prevent CTE. The way I propose we do this is by taking away head-to-head contact in special teams. Let me explain. So I found that the bigger hits happen from further away. So this means like 10 or more yards out, which pretty much makes sense. I mean, if you're going to create a big impact, you need momentum. And this primarily happens in the open field. And the place we find a lot of open field tackles and open field situations is special teams. Now, my idea is to emphasize more about technique and using our hands instead of just running down the field and hitting somebody at full speed. This creates safer situations without having to take away from the authenticity of the game. And I think it's a way that'll make the game a little more safer. So, yeah, that's about it. More technique, less dumb stuff,